Hey everybody, how's it going? It's 13 hours after I did the last video about Monday in the MLB algorithm. Well, today I'm going to do a video where I show you how you can update the Excel file, which is the MLB algorithm here, for the new day, because I feel like I have to do this for people that have paid me for it, and I want to show you what the process is. And I'm just going to record the process because I update this kind of frequently as things change when you update the file. So, as with anything in life, it is only as good as the effort that you put into it. And you can make very little effort and just get a snapshot, which is already up here right now. This is the snapshot from last night. If you click on today, which is the 6th, you'll get the 6 games and how they looked based on last night. Well, I'm going to hide this. There's only 6 games today. And what we're going to do is we're going to see if any of this is going to change. Of course, some of it's going to change, and we'll see why and how we get there. And I'll try to make it fast without talking too fast because I know it's tough to watch. I wish I had somebody here asking me questions as we go, but whatever. I just want to do it as fast as possible. I have a lot on my plate, and I like to do things really, really quickly. And be like, all right, we had to do this. I got it done real fast. And then, of course, I end up talking forever, and it's never fast. But it does get done. And the point I want to make here is the amount of effort and the amount of care you take into updating this is going to have measurable returns on how you do with it, because you get more current, more accurate information. You get things like correct lineups. This stuff matters. So, all right, how do we get these games in here? Well, let's talk about really the odds sheet. The odds sheet should be first. Whenever you're updating, I'll try to put these in order of what you touch when you update, right? So, odds, here's the odds. The odds are here from yesterday. Let's say there were no odds. Let's get rid of all the odds, which go right here. Now you have nothing. You have nothing in your matchup sheet. Okay, that's fine. And sometimes you have more games in here. Like it'll be set up for 15 games from the previous day or something, all the way down here. If you grab these things in right here, they grab the 2 rows. You have to grab 2 rows when you pull this thing down, and then pull it with this mouse hovering over the bottom right. It'll work. You can't do it with just one. It's not a normal autofill. This is wrong. This is not going to work. So anyway, so we have 6 games in here. Well, I already went and downloaded the odds from RotoWire and their sports betting odds area. Okay, it's right here. Let's copy it. And we're going to paste it in the odds sheet right here. And so it automatically fills itself in. Now what's cool is the matchups sheet filled itself in automatically with the new odds. And here's what else is cool. So the lines are going to change slightly because they'll have been updated. Well, this is what the lines were, right? I'm going to put them right there. And I'm going to color code them. The way you can color code stuff is go to home conditional formatting, color scales, green at the top, red on the bottom gives you the highest numbers in green. Right? Watch what happens when we refresh this pivot table. We're going to get the new odds. Boom! Look at that. Stuff changed. And Boston became less of an underdog by 2. This Arizona became less of an underdog by 3. The Mets are now an underdog. That's interesting. The Mets line got better after my video. I always get suspect of that. Nothing else changed much other than Houston line got a little worse. Okay? So we just saw how lines changed comparatively. Now that we have lines, we have to do lineups. And if you are really lazy, and sometimes I'm lazy, I don't want to do this all the time, but if you're really lazy, you would just go here, which by the way, these are all expected, so nothing changed. There are no confirmed lineups yet. And you're going to have to do this when lineups are confirmed at some point throughout the day to get this right. And before the end of the night, I'm going to have to do that. So we have expected lineups, but there are things we didn't update last night that were not ready yet. And those are going to be added before we do a check. So this is the real advantage to doing this in the morning before you have confirmed lineups, is you've got now current batter stats and pitcher stats. We'll open those up. And then you can also do the team stats, which I'll show, which I do as well as part of this. So we're grabbing the pitcher stats right now. We're putting them in the pitcher sheet right here where this anchor is on row 990. We're checking the bottom to make sure that we didn't go down past where the formulas are, and we are good with the pitcher stats. So just put pitcher stats in. Here's batter stats next. Grabbing batter stats. Copying that. I use control and the arrow. I hold down the control shift button and the arrow, I believe, to highlight everything really fast like that, to highlight the whole chunk instead of grabbing the mouse and highlighting that whole rectangle of information, which you're then pasting right here. Okay, that looks good. By the way, people that are colored on this sheet, if you sort by color, these are people that were traded throughout the year. So sorting A to Z and then sorting by color yields who these people are, and they have a team. Now, RotoWire will put both of their teams and the individual stats on both of those teams in here. Really, we should add and average them together to give this player a complete combo score for the entire year, but that's a little extra work, and I don't do it. This person has 14 games played, not just 6 or 8, depending on who they're playing for right now. Luke Wilson, in our sheet here, is playing for... We can't find Luke Wilson? You kidding? Jacob Wilson, Cody Wilson, Bobby Wilson, Bryce Wilson, Justin Wilson, Weston Wilson, No, we don't have Luke Wilson in our system? Oh my God. Or Luke Williams. That's why, because I'm an idiot. I am a person who makes a lot of mistakes. All right, that's why these algorithms are so great, because I build them to correct all of my repeated mistakes. Williams, there you are. Are you really on Miami? Let's check. Let's see where he plays for, who he plays for. He is on Miami, so that is correct. So the point is in your batter sheet, you have all this information with traded players, and you could add these stats together and create one line. Be like, he's on Miami, so he's actually played 14 games. He's actually got 19 at-bats. He's actually got 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 doubles, 3 ribbies, 4 strikeouts. Now, here's where it gets complicated. What do you do with on-base percentage and average? I usually try to average in my head looking at the game. So he's really hitting like 260 or something. But this is kind of, you're just doing whatever. But then you can just simply remove the other one. And you've got a new C-score for Luke Williams, which went from, it really didn't change. It stayed at 41% because we didn't make too many big adjustments. But that's what you could do for everybody. But we're not going to do that for everybody because it's a long video and I don't think it's really all that important, but it's one of those things that could make stuff a little bit better. Other stats we can grab, which I'm not going to grab yet because it's a really boring video, are these 4. And putting those here, and team batting here and here. We're not going to do it because it's not going to impact things all that much. It's just one game from yesterday that I don't have in there. So what else happens? Well, we have the results sheet. We have to connect the results sheet to the matchup sheet so that we can browse everything. I had done it from yesterday, but I want to show you what it looks like when you get the new day. Normally it would look like this. You wouldn't have any of this. And you would just be sitting with this. You would have to turn this stuff to values because it was formulas. But you just go to the next cell, you go equal sign, you go to the matchup sheet right where it says over under runs. Then you pull this formula over and pull it down. And it will go down until it starts reaching no more games, which will be zeros. And you can leave the zeros there, get rid of them. It doesn't really matter. And you put the date, which is 6/6, and now all of a sudden we're done. And this is what the new look is. And we have 3 underdogs on top. Hilarious. Boy, we are getting set up by the odds makers today. So all the lineup factors look good. We don't have confirmed lineups yet, so I'd wait. But if you just take the algorithm for what it's worth, that's how you update it. And it says that 5 games are above 10% margin, and all games are reasonably marginable, and these 6 teams are supposed to win. Now, did I do what I said I was going to do last night when I talked with Katrina? Sort of. I bet the Mets, Boston, Toronto, Houston, Cleveland, and I bet Colorado Avalanche to win. So I got those 6. I stayed away from Arizona because I'm probably wrong, and they're probably going to be fine, but I didn't like their 3-0 loss yesterday. And so where that's represented itself is kind of here. How's Arizona playing? Like, these teams are both winning about a third of their games. And Hunter Green's got terrible pitching stats this year. So does Cincinnati's bullpen, but you're in Cincinnati. Like, what is the weather situation? All right, like let's look at that. Could be raining there, so there's also that reason. I didn't know that yesterday when I decided not to bet, but a rainout screws up your round robins. So if you've got a chance for a rainout, another reason to ignore that game. But I'm just scared of Arizona losing 3-0 to Pittsburgh yesterday. I don't know why. I just feel like their bats are maybe not there and whatever. So that's the one I took off of there. But all the other ones I took. And we'll know more when the lineups are in, but that's basically it. So that's how you can update this thing from day to day. You can even run simulations for tomorrow, right? Like, for example, there are probably lines for tomorrow already for some of the games. Yeah, you can grab this and you can add to it if you really want to start thinking ahead, but you're going to have to come up with your own lineups because you may not have expected lineups yet, but you can just add this here. Okay. And I don't recommend doing this all too much, but this gets you down to game 21. So you just pull this thing down to 21 games. Got to 18 games. Right, that's 21. So now it's not perfect yet because you don't have the lineup factors for these games because you don't have those pitchers. But you have the option on RotoWire also to get tomorrow's lineups right here. And if you copied this and pasted this, I tried this once and it was a mess, but I did try it and it was okay. Paste it like right here, and make sure you have a formula. Yeah, that might work. Let's see what happens. Okay, I think that worked. I need to add Nick Plummer on the Mets, but so that's how you add players. By the way, to the matrix. If they don't show up, if they show up as an error over here, that means that they're not in our list. So let's see what happens. We refresh our batting pivot. Looks like we've got 2 sets of games. And we just need to change Connor Pilkington. Wow, this is cool. I didn't think this would be this easy. But everything, like when pitchers and players and stuff have all played before and you're not missing stats and things like that, it's actually really, really, really easy to update this in a basic form. And I like that. I mean, then I can really just show you. I know it's a boring video here, but for those of you who are trying to update this at home after I send you a copy, how valuable is this to be able to look at tomorrow? And the pick ranks are now incorporated with both days. So, like, that's fascinating. So you could then take the pivot and refresh and add to the results matrix. Wow, we are really going on the fly. This is fun. So I'm adding the next day. I have never done this for 2 days before exactly like this. Let's grab... Oh, no, we don't even need to grab anything. We can just pull the formula down. Hold on a second. Yeah, the formula's already there. Yep, that works. And this is the date of the 7th. So I've added those 2 days now. And I'm not, you guess what, guys? You're not getting a video about me for baseball until tomorrow. Actually, I'll probably talk to Katrina about the games tonight. Well, other than that, we don't have to do another preview tomorrow for Tuesday. Boom. Tuesday is right there. Awesome. At least, a version of it with unconfirmed lineups. So if you look at both days together, you can see that which day is which. It's a good question. You can tell by game number. Interesting. Well, I guess it's easier to look in here now. I'm sending this version out. This is crazy. Everyone's getting this 2-day version now. I wish these date times would fix themselves in a better way, but anyway. Point is, super cool. You can see that the games that are today, which are these ones, on the list of 2-day pick ranks, none of them are really, really all that good. That's fascinating. So there are better games tomorrow, like Miami over Washington, but only 6 innings pitched for Edward Cabrera. Yeah, that's a little better. Now, wow, that's a super close game now if he pitches like last year. Oh my God, I'm going crazy. All right, guys, look, sorry, too much to do. The video's too long and it went in a weird direction, but I like it. So good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning today. Today, if you do one thing, it really says Boston and everything. How do you not take Boston? The Angels blew game 9-7 to Philadelphia. They blew a 6-0 lead to Philadelphia yesterday. They've lost 10 in a row, I think, right? We could look it up. Let's look it up. I'll tell you how to look it up. The team of the Angels, and so how does it say? Somewhere it says whether or not they won or lost the game. There's a margin of victory. They had a rain out, I guess, here. The margin of victory is nothing. Yeah, this game was a rain out. But other than that, every time there's a negative number here, they lost a game in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If I didn't miss any games in there. And maybe there was a score for this TV determined game and I missed it or something. But no, they did. They've lost more than 9. Yeah, they're getting destroyed. So why buck that trend with Boston, a team that's playing good? I mean, how's Boston looking? Oh, there's another cool way I can show this. This is why my videos last forever and I talk forever, okay? There are infinite ways you can display information and answer your questions with pivot tables and stuff like this. So, for example, Boston is a team I want to look at. I got to unfilter something here so that we can look at all Boston games. So now you've got all Boston predictions for the entire season. Notice some of these games where you have margin, you will have a margin that is lower than 0 because I'm showing all their games. For example, we did not favor Boston against Minnesota on whatever day this was. And I can add dates in here. We could just do that. We could get rid of game ID and put date. Show you how to do that. So we're getting rid of game ID for a second. And we're putting date, which was under a filter here, into the row label. And we're going to sort descending by date margin. The only reason I'm doing this is because I'm doing this for one team. I'll show you one team stuff. Actually, a cool way to do this is descending. Sorry, let's do this descending, newest to oldest, because here's why. It's going to show you whether or not they won or lost games. So Boston's won 4 in a row. And these were our margins on Boston. We also had Boston 2 games before that when they lost to Cincinnati and lost to Baltimore. But they've won 4 in a row for us. So how about we look at how every team, right, has done with a margin above 0, okay? Value filters greater than, the margin is greater than 0. So we favored the team in the algorithm. We're 19-8 with Boston this season. How are we with Arizona? We're 10-7. How are we with Atlanta? 16-13. Baltimore 5-3. 19-8. We're winners with everybody except the Cubs. We are not winners with the Cubs. Ooh. We almost have a winning record with Cincinnati. That's interesting. We're even up with Cleveland. We're ahead barely with Colorado. We're doing well with the White Sox, 7-4. Mixed bag with Detroit, but still positive. Houston, we're crushing it. When the algorithm likes Houston, we're 27-14. Pretty good with Kansas City. We're bad with the Angels because the Angels are bad right now. It's catching up and it's picking against the Angels more. We're 63% with the Dodgers, so really good teams are Houston, the Dodgers. We're pretty good with Miami at 14-9. Good with Milwaukee. Really good with Minnesota at 23-11. Great with the Mets at 28-13. Greater with the Yankees at 29-11. Terrible with Oakland, not surprising. Okay with the Phillies, a little over 500. 500 with Pittsburgh. Very good with San Diego. Poor with Seattle. We've overestimated Seattle a lot this year. Keep that in mind. Whenever I say we overestimate Seattle, look at that is about the worst team I've seen right there at 39%, right? Good with San Francisco, but not great. Really good with St. Louis at 65%. Pretty good with Tampa Bay. Mixed bag, almost 500 with Texas. Toronto's pretty good. And Washington we're even winners with. So at 110 and 107, and especially, let's go with just the month of June, we are now screwing up the table big time. All right, so watch me go back a million things. Boom, boom, boom. Whoops, no. We're doing Control Z. No, we have to hold down Control Z. No, don't we? Yeah, we're going to just keep backing up all the way until we get back to what the pivot table originally looked like. This is why I don't mind breaking a pivot table or messing around. Just keep going backwards and get back to exactly here. We're now where we were supposed to be with games and the way this thing looks. So, all right, that was a super long video, but you guys are, I am getting requests for this. Everyone's happy. Katrina's making money. She's thinking I'm smart because I keep giving her picks that win, and I'm winning. My bet is, I bet $92 today. I always bet like about $100 is like my budget almost every day. And I bet this $92 and I bet it on that 6-team round robin where I spread it out by like 3s, 4s, and 5s and 6s. 3s, 4s, 5, and 6. And without Arizona, if I go, I can't win almost $900. If I get all 6 games, including the hockey game there, I get $900 basically on that $92 bet. But if I go 5-1 or even 4-2, I think I'll break even at about 4-2. So we'll see if that happens. I think anything better than a 4-2 day, a 5-1 or 6-0 day is what happens. At least 1 out of 5 days. I almost had one yesterday. I lost a hockey game yesterday that stopped me from getting a 6-1 pick on a 17 round robin. I only got 5-2, but I had weird things like the Phillies yesterday that came back and won. That's an accident. I had Colorado team runs that they came up with late when I needed them in an over. I had some things that caught late anyway. So you just got to understand it's not going to be an everyday process, but when you get proper intelligence, you can start to have fun things. And I wish I had done this last night if this was available, and I would have made these bets because I don't think I'm going to be back in a state where FanDuel is legal until at least a few more days. So anyway, all right, good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning, and may Boston beat the Angels, unfortunately for the poor Angels, because, man, it looks like that's probably going to happen. All right, good luck.